Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I guess I feel like talking today. I'm trying to hold the camera steady. It seems like when I try to record in my car, there's like literally someone next to me, but I really don't care because I'm not doing this for them. They're not in my car, they're not in my life. So anyway, but I just want to encourage moms, specifically moms who have children with a disability. Like, I'm about to be vulnerable real quick. And I'm at the place where I can talk about it more freely and also not like get too emotional. But briefly, because I do have to make my Target run before I pick the kids up. But a lot of people don't know what you're going through. A lot of people assume a lot of things. And a lot of times when you are a mom, you are interceding for not just people in your close circle, not just people, not just your family. Like, there are things that you are specifically interceding for. What is this person doing? Like, seriously. You're interceding for a lot when it comes to your family. And so specifically, let me not get too distracted. But specifically, like, I have children who have disabilities, and specifically in speech, and like, oh my gosh, like, I can't believe I'm talking about this. But I'm sharing this because I want other people to feel encouraged that, that it's okay, that there are milestones that your children will reach, that your children will not stay where they are if you have a made-up mind that you are going to help them grow and thrive and do all that you can to get the support that you need. Because it's hard enough being a parent. It's hard enough being a mom. It's hard enough being a woman. It's hard enough being, the race that you are. Like, there's a lot of things that go into it. But I just wanted to encourage moms out there that your kids will be successful if you have a made-up mind that they are going to be successful. Whatever the diagnosis is, or whatever challenge that they're facing at this season in their life, know that they will overcome. It may not be, huge leaps and bounds. You get what I'm saying? But a win is a win. Celebrate those wins. Celebrate each and everything that they are doing to move forward and to be better in whatever area they may not be as successful in right now consistently. And so just to share, like, because I was reminded, not only was I going through an unhealthy, toxic relationship, okay, it didn't start out that way. I was also dealing with parenting challenges, challenges with development in speech and also in physical therapy. So my youngest daughter not only has a speech delay, but she also went through several months of physical therapy. And God knew, like, God really knew. Okay, this is uncomfortable. God really knew what he was doing when the pandemic happened, like, as far as how it would affect me and my family. And my youngest was not hitting certain milestones. Like, it was a little too early to detect the speech delay per se. But there were definitely some markers where she was not crawling or really pushing up She was able to flip over. She was able to turn over, but like pushing up, keeping her core up consistently, that was a struggle. And again, I'm sharing this with you not for sympathy. I'm sharing this to encourage other moms that you can do it, that the season that you may be facing with your children is temporary. And if you feel that you are alone, you're not. And it took other people like sharing being vulnerable and sharing their stories, and specifically others on YouTube, that gave me the strength to keep going, as well as like, family support and, people in like my close circle. Like it was a huge undertaking. And I'm not going to go into all the details, but just to give you a little backdrop. So my youngest was in physical therapy first. And then, honestly, she didn't start taking steps until about 16, 17 months. So she was about 16, 17 months. And that carrier, oh my gosh, she was already a big baby. She was 9 pounds when she was born. So just imagine carrying that baby carrier, big old chunky thing in that carrier. It was a lot. In addition to like the mental stress and frustration of you wanting your kids to be successful and thriving and just, moving along with the milestones. It's very heartbreaking to get any diagnosis, but I think that these are things that not a lot of parents, specifically African American parents, talk about, because there's like a lot that goes on with that whole thing. Because when you are a person of faith and you are Christian, you definitely want to go to God and invite him in every situation of your life. At the same time, it's I'm not trying to go into all that, but it's tough when you come from that background and that culture of I don't want to say that, but when you come from that background and culture of, people feeling like it's taboo to share certain things, especially on the internet, I feel like certain things, yeah, you do want to be discerning and keep to yourself, but like, this is going to help someone. Like, I'm speaking it in advance. It's going to help someone know that they're not alone, because I felt alone, even in the church community, where you feel like, oh, I have instant support, instant people who have empathy and understand and really want to help you succeed and help the family. Like, people just, like, from my experience, especially people that I thought would understand more than others, they're just like, well, I don't know what to do with that because my kids, or because it's something that God will intervene and heal. It's just like, okay, faith without works is dead. Like, you have to put the action in the faith that you're praying in. Like, and then, some people feel like you're honestly like trying to compare or get sympathy. And it's just like, no, I just want to talk about what I'm actually going through, but there aren't a lot of safe spaces, especially in the church community, to like kind of bleed in or just, be so open and vulnerable. But yeah, so I'm just sharing this because it's so important, especially when you have children, when you're a new mother, and a mom in general. You need to know that you're not alone. You need to know that someone out there is with you, that someone out there is praying for you. And, there are different groups that I had access to along the way, but there weren't a lot. And, like I said, not everybody in my circle has children and also have children that have gone through similar circumstances. And, having a disability or starting out at a certain place doesn't necessarily define how you're going to end, or that this has to be the rest of your life. And I think that's what people automatically assume, that, once you're diagnosed with a delay or a speech impairment, that this will be the rest of your life, that you will not get but so high. And it's just like, that is not true. It takes hard work. It takes a lot of prayer, a lot of patience, and consistency. And that's what I've noticed, because this is not something that I just dealt with one child, with two, but with the third one, it was just like, or my third child, it was PT and speech. So what I was going to say was that I'm happy to be able to be in this place to share this information, to share a little bit more about my family, because I know that I mainly do stuff about fitness, and I've been talking a lot lately and sharing testimonies and just where I am as far as self-care. But, I do want to continue to share about my family and just encourage people as well. So back to what I was going to say is that my youngest, she was not walking. Her core was not strong enough. And when I was carrying her, I didn't really notice, because there was so much going on when I was pregnant with her, that I just really did not take the time to really evaluate. But I noticed that she was not moving as much as she should have, because that, being my third child, I know, like, kind of typically, like, the different milestones of pregnancy and what you should be experiencing and so forth. And I knew that she wasn't as active as she should have been. But, I wasn't trying to speak anything into existence, because I had a lot of a lot of challenges with the last pregnancy. But anyway, just to get to it, because I don't want to make this video too long. So her core wasn't strong, and so I literally I think I was taking her to like a play group or something. And then, as time went on, they were like, yeah, her gross motor skills are not, was in her age range. So there is a whatever % delay. And so basically, they recommended physical therapy. But by that time, my job was shut down, and the pandemic was here. And so it was all virtual. So it was like God knew what I needed when I needed it, even though I was like really upset about my job shutting down. Like, I needed to be there for my family. So literally it started out pretty intense. Twice a week, we were having therapy. And then shortly after that, she was diagnosed with a speech delay. So it was that, and some people, like old school people, and that's the thing, we'll probably have, this probably gonna be a series, because, some older people or old school minded people feel like, oh, it's too early, that baby gonna talk, just continue to pray and do what you can and da-da-da-da. And I'm just like, the doctors and science and just things have evolved, okay? And they're no longer waiting until the kid is literally entering kindergarten, preschool, to figure out, oh, there's a delay here. It's called early intervention for a reason. And so, it frustrates me how people who haven't even studied the topic or really been engrossed in the environment feel like they have a PhD in something serious like this. So anyway, so that was the diagnosis. And I guess I started this video off saying that you never know what people are going through. And I didn't realize that during that time, God was really having me intercede, like really be there, not just actually being there physically, but really deepening my connection with Him and really strengthening my prayer life. Because there's so much that you give in general when you are a wife, a mother. Like there's so much that you give, and it's just like I was reminded about all that I went through and why I feel like what I said in my last video, as far as inviting God in and taking time to just be, because I literally have been on a long roller coaster. Felt like a never-ending roller coaster at one point, and honestly, I didn't know what to expect. And to add like the stress of a broken relationship on top of that, like there's so many things that have been repaired in my life but are still being repaired. It's just like, God, thank you. Thank you for bringing me through that. Thank you for bringing my family through that season. And most importantly, like specifically, thank you for allowing my child to walk without assistance. You know, navigating the stairs was a big thing. So I'm happy to say that my youngest can walk on her own. She can run, jump. She's pretty quick too. And, you know, she has a testimony. Like, you know, we have a family testimony just in that sense. And I'm just so happy to say that God led me to the right people at the right time. She is still in speech therapy as well as my oldest at school, but there have been so many breakthroughs. And like I said, it hasn't been achieved with just prayer alone. It takes consistency. It takes patience. But that consistency piece is a big thing. And just believing that your children will be successful and thrive, and you will see, wins along the way, and celebrate them. So I'm so excited about my family and my family's future. And I'll probably open up about more. This is kind of like a brief overview of a topic. So I'll see how I feel about opening up more about this, because, you know, other women, other families need to be encouraged that this type of issue does not have to be the rest of your life, that you don't have to accept, you know, the hand that you are dealt, that there are second opinions for a reason. There's third opinions, fourth opinions, and there's also tools and strategies and also programs out there that can really be to your best benefit. So stay encouraged. I know this was kind of random, all over the place, but stay encouraged and continue to be blessed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.